What should entrepreneurs never do? Entrepreneurs should never, 1. Start a business solely for the money. To be a successful entrepreneur, one must love what she does. You don't want to start a business only to realize you're not passionate about it at some point down the line. For the purposes of the argument, think of a business as a baby. You should not agree to have a baby unless you're willing to care for it and help it grow. 2. Start a business solely because you're family with someone. An entrepreneur should be in a business relationship first and foremost. It's possible that a friend or family member may have similar business goals and may complement your skills. However, a business partnership should be started on the premise of the business, not a personal relationship. I personally started a company on Kickstarter with 2 best friends that successfully raised $236,000. Today, 2 of us are no longer with the company as we left it to our former best friend. Once the money rolls into the bank account, you quickly realize that you're in a business relationship first. Some people can get greedy and true colors of friends can come out. Start a business with the right people that have similar business goals and complement each other. 3. Be afraid or scared of risk. The game of business is risk-based. Don't be afraid of it and realize that you will need to take risks, even as a large company in a mature market. In such a case, don't take enough risks and risk failure due to a changing market. Just look at Toys R Us, Circuit City, Radio Shack, etc. That's the case with formerly successful large companies, so one can only imagine the risk involved for a small company entrepreneur. Test hypotheses, pivot your business model, talk to customers, learn, take risks, evolve, repeat. 4. Forget to calculate your finances. Know your runway, calculate your costs, revenues, taxes, etc. And understand your overall financial standing so that you know what you are capable of doing. Do not spend on a $50,000 marketing campaign when you have $10,000 in the bank and are in debt, unless you're almost certain that the payoff will be worth it. 5. Rely solely on oneself. You do not know everything nor can you do everything. There's only 24 hours in a day and 7 days in a week. In the beginning you may need to work alone, but understand the value of distributing and optimizing workload and cumulative brainpower. 6. Retain negative employees. As an entrepreneur, you likely don't have salary money to waste. That's in the case when employees are unproductive. Moreover, as an entrepreneur, you should not tolerate employees who are negatively impacting your business, workplace, or other employees. Inversely, don't forget to acknowledge your top performers. There are so many things I wasted my time on when I started my company. Some of them were silly, and some of them were downright stupid. Let me start with the most controversial thing I shouldn't have wasted my time on, and that was hiring a vice president of sales. Not only did I have a founder VP of sales not work out, I repeated my mistake twice more. Now why is hiring a VP of sales a waste of your time early on? Your company is likely not ready for a world-class VP of sales yet because your company is just not going to be far enough along to recruit a world-class VP of sales. So just don't bother wasting your time on spending any time recruiting a VP of sales until you have a repeatable sales process and you're probably at least past $1 million per year in revenue. But the madness of things you can waste your time on doesn't stop with hiring a VP of sales. There's a long list of things you might think are important, but aren't. Here's the rest of my list. A. Wasting time worrying about equity ownership percentages and dilution. This may be another controversial one, but stop wasting your time worrying about how much equity you own. There's no market for your equity, so today it's worth nothing. The only way to make it worth something is for you and your team to kick ass. So stop wasting your time or doing the math on what your equity is worth. It's a waste of time. And while we're on the subject of equity, stop wasting your time. B. Worrying about keeping control of the voting rights. Yes, you want to own the majority of the company if you can, but it's not going to help you stay CEO unless you do a great job. The reason is that until you are cash flow positive you need investors. And, even if you own more than 50% of the company, the investors can demand you resign if you're not doing a good job because they can withhold funding. Look at what happened at Uber if you're in doubt. One more money-related thing you should stop wasting time on is C. Wasting time worrying about your exit. Wasting time worrying about your exit as a close second to wasting time worrying about your ownership percentages. How your company gets liquid should be the furthest thing from your mind at this early stage. Repeat after me, your company's exit will take care of itself if you execute. So focus on your team executing flawlessly and you won't have to worry about the exit. Let's move on to the silly things we can waste time worrying about, like D. Don't waste your time on a press release announcing you've been funded. The PR you get will do you any good because the shelf life, or the boost to your web traffic, will be gone in a couple of days. It's better to save your money on other important things. What else? What else? Don't waste your time spending money on